Hi, this is Eric Martin, Report Game Geek News. Today I'm looking at Stefan Herminghouse's Gold Ahoy from Lookout Games. This is a two-player game, plays in about 10 to 15 minutes, contains only 36 tiles, with which you build a 6x6 grid, after which you see who wins. Here are the components for Gold Ahoy. A linen bag filled with 36 big tiles. And you're going to play 18 of those tiles, and the opponent plays the other 18. On a turn, you reach in the bag, draw a tile, and if you're the first player, you put it anywhere. There. Okay. And the other player goes. When you add a tile to ones that are already there, you can play on your side of the board or horizontally adjacent, but you cannot start a new row on the opponent's side of the board. So maybe I do something like this. All right, this player goes. He can add here or in these 4 spots. Okay. No, I'll do this. All right. Now the other player goes, and again, he can place on his own side or in these other locations, cannot start a new row on the opponent's side of the board. Now what you're trying to do is get access to these treasure chests. Each tile has a chest on it, and sometimes the chest is in water, and sometimes it's on sand. That's all it is different combinations of tiles that look like this. Now, you're going to be building up the board here, and I'm not looking at what I'm playing. We'll just pretend all my moves are legal as we're doing this. And when you get 6 tiles wide, you cannot go any wider. Okay, so you can only grow towards yourself, or you can fill in the other spots. All right? But again, only the opponent can start a row on his own side of the board. And right now we're 5 columns high. If we end up having a 6th one, we're now locked in with the final dimensions of this grid, and we're only filling in the remaining spaces based on what we draw. Okay, now this is the terribly unstrategic way to play, but it works as an example. Okay, the game continues until all the tiles have been placed, and you then score and see who wins. Now, how you score is you look at the waterways and sandbars that have been created in the water, and you see who has access to a particular treasure chest. Okay? So for example, this opponent is the only one who can reach this treasure chest, so he's going to get that. This waterway over here has 3 treasure chests, and again, only this player has access to them, so he would get those 3. If you look on this side, I'm the only one who can access this sandbar, so I get those 3. This waterway goes up here. This sandbar, however, goes all the way to the opposite side of the board. And this is the thing that you're really trying to build for and look at as you're placing the tiles. How many accesses do you have to a particular treasure chest? This player has 1, 2, 3 accesses to the sandbar that comes over here, and I have only 2. Therefore, he gets it. Him. That guy. I lose to the camera again. I get nothing. I do get these few. This waterway here has access only to the side where no one is, so no one gets those treasure chests. You sum the treasure chests that you get, the opponent sums his, and whoever has the highest score wins. If there's a tie for access to chest, no one gets it. High score wins. That's it for Gold Ahoy. There's 36 tiles. You play in like 10 to 15 minutes. It's so simple and straightforward, and all I have is the word simple in my head over and over again, because the rules are boiled down to just draw a tile and play it out, draw a tile and play it out. But as you play multiple times, I played 4 times on a press copy from Mayfair, which has it in the US, Lookout has it in Germany, and has Italian and Japanese rules as well. But you see the pathways, the waterways, the sandbars develop, and you start seeing the access points, right, come into play. They grow, they branch out, and they get closed off, all depending on the dynamics of the game. It's very straightforward in terms of the gameplay. You have to pay attention to some things, because if you're the star player, of course, you might end up in the situation I did in one game where you ended up building a a grid that's 6 wide and 5 long, and I have to open up the final row because I can't play my opponent's side. I got to open up on my side. So the opponent's got to play 3 tiles on my side that cut off everything I no longer have access to. So you have to keep that in mind when you're the first player, not to do that. But you have to keep in mind in general to do that, because once you start placing tiles, you don't know what your final row is going to be. Right? You have to try to build for that final row and build those access points up into the waterways and the sand. But what you want depends on everything that's being built at the same time. It's all coming together, right, in this simple little drama of pirates looking for treasure chests randomly lying all over the beach. Of course, yes, why not? Why don't they just run over and get it? They can't cross that little bit of water. I don't know. They've got some psychological fears, I guess, that make them, carry out their differences in this way, as opposed to just dividing the treasure chest amicably. We'll split it. Why do we have to argue about this? Look, there's treasure for all. No, that's not how we do things here. We have to figure out the gentlemanly way of ripping off the other guy.